Morning from Yellowbanks, Anchorage. This anchorage is so weird. It's rolling like crazy, but all of this swell is coming from the shoreline. I thought it must have been a wake because I noticed which way the rollers were going out to sea. It must just be like when the swells come in and hit that shoreline, since it's so shallow this far out, that it just bounces back and keeps rolling out to sea, but it's very unusual. Might also explain why it was so damn rolly last night. So, just getting the boat in order, getting the morning started, and we're gonna head over to Anacapa this morning. Go ashore, do a little hiking, do some snorkeling, and then we push off in the afternoon for home, Los Angeles Harbor. It's funny, I was like so stoked on how shallow this anchorage was so far away, but I guess that has consequences. But still neat little anchorage to be in. It was cool to be in the fog last night. I'm glad we got the hook set before the fog and the dark set in, but it was fun to just see everything kind of disappear. So it's time to get my chores finished up and have some more coffee. And then we have John's dinghy that we drove home last night after dinner on his boat, and take it back to him, and then both boats are going to haul up around 9 a.m. and head for Anacapa. Anacapa's still in fog, but he said Frenchy's is really easy. That's the anchorage we're going to on Anacapa. So yeah, hopefully it'll burn off by the time we get over there.
That I made, and this morning I made sushi rice and seasoned it the way it is with vinegar and mirin and stuff, and then I sauteed some onion and shiitake mushrooms with a little soy and did that on top of the rice, and then easy eggs and our fermented veg and a little bit of seaweed and sesame on top.
And then how's the fermented stuff that you did?
It's good. It's like it will keep progressively getting more sour as the microbes eat up all the sugar. So it's still not super sour, but it's getting to the point where it's really nicely tangy and sets.
Yeah, it has a good flavor.
Yeah, and it sets off, like it balances with its acid, the umami and the richness of the other things that are in our breakfast.
Awesome. Time for breakfast. So we're here at Frenchy's Cove, named after a Frenchman who lived here during Prohibition, and he used to store all the booze for the mob out here. And even after it became a national park, he had lived out, I think he lived here for 45 years or something. They allowed him to live out the rest of his life on the island, even though it had become national park land, which is kind of cool. So this is Frenchy's Cove, and we're gonna go ashore. John of SV Falurian, our good buddy, there's his boat. He let us borrow his dinghy since we were still without a dinghy, and go ashore to do some exploration and see what it's all about here on Anacapa. So stoked. I've wanted to come here for so very long. So yeah, let's get to shore.
Anacapa Island is the second smallest of the Channel Islands at roughly 5 miles long and 1/2 mile wide. The native Chumash people once called this island Anacapa, a word meaning deception or mirage, which alluded to this island's changing shape when viewed at different times from the mainland and other islands. Archaeological evidence suggests that the native Chumash people were visiting Anacapa Island as long as 5,000 years ago. Due to the absence of fresh water on the island, it is likely that seasonal camps were used for fishing and other activities. Chumash legend holds that the American Indian population of the Channel Islands began on Anacapa. Today, tribal members dedicated to preserving their seafaring ways hold crossings to the island in traditional redwood and pine boats called tomols.
Yeah, really cool. We hauled up at Frenchy's Cove on Anacapa. Time to head home. It's been a wild trip. I'm stoked to have gotten to visit Anacapa. I've always wanted to come here, so it was a highlight for me, for sure. Just sailing under very light breeze, I don't know, 5 knots. We have our Jenniker out, and we're gonna sail for a little while, at least around the end of Anacapa Island, and then see how the winds are, and sail until we're going less than like 2 knots. If we're going less than 2 knots, we'll turn the motor on a motor cell. We have 66 miles to make today. We'll get in home late tonight and tie up, pass out, and then go pick up a hound in the morning, side to see steady. It's been a wild one.
It's nice and quiet out. So beautiful.
Sun's getting ready to set. We're just off, like, I don't know, maybe Point Magoo or somewhere. We've been picking up mylar balloons out of the ocean all day. Every time we see one, we get to it and pull it out of the ocean with the sea hook. If you love the ocean, please don't buy mylar balloons, or any inflated balloons for that matter, because they always end up in the sea. But yeah, just enjoying this sunset. It's beautiful, very calm seas. Zero wind, but it's okay. We had plenty of wind at the beginning of this trip. Yeah, keep chugging along. There's a massive Coast Guard boat cruising along next to us. They're in the shipping lane, and we're just outside of it. And then at some point, we'll come about real hard and cut across it to get through it. That's probably not for, I don't know, another 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, that's where we're at. Getting ready for night to fall on us and keep chugging away the nautical miles, get home.
Thank you to everyone who followed along with us this season while we explored the islands of Southern California. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell to not miss any new project or adventure videos. Thanks to our viewers, patrons, and gear patrons, the future is right around the corner. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. It helps us a lot.
Thanks again to all of our patrons. Your contributions help us get the boat ready for big things.
Until next time.
It's a pretty sweet backdrop. You can just fast forward the footage.